Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Jim Hovland, your Edina Mayor, and this is the Mayor's Minute for April 10, 2020. Yeah, I mentioned a couple of times in the last week or so, we were going to talk about a young guy named Franz Goslar. Franz is from the class of 2000, and he is just freshly back from India, where he lived for many, many years. And this is a xenophobic tale and something that has applicability not only to what was happening to him in India, but also what's happening with some of our Asian American friends and our Asian American citizens here in the United States. So let's first talk about Franz and his experiences in India. It's probably over a decade ago now that Franz started a school for girls in Northeast India in the province of Jharkhand. And this school is called Yuwa, Y-U-W-A, which means youth in the Indian language. And if you look up his school, you'll see he's been subject to many, many awards from companies like Nike, Microsoft, that have helped him build a beautiful school for these underprivileged girls who in years gone by were subject to human trafficking at a young age or childhood marriages. Despite being there for over a decade, and recently getting married to his wife. They've had a 7-month-old baby. He and his wife, Rose, have been on the run, essentially, since coronavirus came to Jharkhand. All foreigners in Jharkhand have been blamed for bringing this virus to Northeast India, that rural, impoverished area. And he had to have a police escort from the small area where he lived into a city called Ranchi, where he was basically quarantined himself for several days, maybe close to a week, before they tried to figure out a way to get him out of there. So the worst part of it was a 9-hour trip from this town called Ranchi to a town called Kolkata, a 9-hour bus ride where Franz described it as being passed off like the Pony Express from police car to police car as they went through these various provinces in India, trying to safely get to Kolkata. And then being able to fly to Delhi and then on to San Francisco and then on to where his wife's parents are living in Missouri. So he's safely back, and we're so grateful for that. So Franz Goslar, class of 2000, what a terrific story. We're experiencing some of these same sort of xenophobic issues in the United States. We've got a wonderful Chinese American community here that's doing so much to help out during this crisis with PPE and with help for the meal fund. Just regular American citizens from different ethnicities than the rest of us that are doing a wonderful job of chipping in and being part of this whole thing. You know, these viruses don't discriminate against who they attack, this virus in particular, and we shouldn't be discriminating against people either. So if you are experiencing or have experienced or do experience some incident of racism or discrimination, you should get a hold of the city. Heidi Lee is our race and equity coordinator. She would be more than pleased to take your call. We encourage you to do that. We just don't want to see these things happening in Edina. There seems to be an atmosphere now of involving more racism, more discrimination, more tension. And as this crisis gets deeper and deeper, we need to be very mindful of the fact that we're all in this together, and we can't be favoring one group over the other. We just all have to be in there chipping in and helping out and making sure we get through this thing. We need to stay strong. We need to stay healthy. We need to stay together. We need to stay safe. This is Jim Hovland, your Edina Mayor, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.